yet another political podcast. Come together and yap with us.
Howdy yappers, Mark Wayne Mullen here. Talk to you about taking a demotion from being a senator to being a guy in charge of a department that's going to lose his job in the next 6 months. But before we get around to my confirmation hearing, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Dustin.
I'm Adam. And I am enraged. As usual.
But are you still just a rat in a cage?
Yes.
Some folks would say, anyway.
Yeah. Unlike Billy Corgan, I've kept my hair,
So this last week I had strep throat. That was a lot of fun. So even though there's so much to talk about, I really wanted to be here. We'll talk about some of it, but so much new stuff has come up in the meantime. I guess the bulk of what we have to talk about is no plan in Iran. Is there a U.S. war plan here? Because it doesn't seem like it. It seems like the whole war is based on vibes. And every time somebody in the administration is asked about it, they say something different. So I don't think anybody has a reason for why we actually did this. At least when Bush did his thing, he lied to our faces, and it was one lie that they all told.
Yeah.
And it's obviously like they're not even trying to lie now. What's the plan?
There is no plan. This is, we've seen this again and again with Trump, even in the first term, just do whatever the fuck we want, lie, spin, lie. Our ardent supporters are going to stick by us. The people who don't like us are going to rage and protest. And that thought occurred to me the other day when it was like remember COVID, like how they kind of tried to spin, like they thought they could spin their way out of it for some reason.
It's just a Democratic hoax.
And I feel like that I've seen that with how they're handling Iran right now too. It's like they think they can just kind of spin their way out of it, but yeah, I don't know. We've won the war. We need help. We totally obliterated the nuclear sites last June, but we had to go back and obliterate them again. So
didn't get them all, even though when the fake news went out there and said that we didn't get it all, and Trump is like, no, we got it all of it. 100% of 100%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you say obliterated, that generally means gone or completely wiped out.
Yeah, that does seem to be the theory that this is a holy war now. But meanwhile,
there's that aspect of it.
So the only two things I can come up with here, actually, as far as 5D chess, if there is any kind of plan, the only thing that this can do, well, there's two things that this could do positive for the U.S. It strangles China so that they don't have the oil to move. They only have 30 days of backup oil. And then shit gets real for a country of more than 1 billion people. So they definitely won't have the oil to be invading Taiwan anytime soon. The other side of that is even fucking grimmer. What I've seen, so what's pointed out here on screen is that we told our troops in this rah-rah, sis-boom-bah moment that this was like a holy war and that we're bringing on the rapture. But meanwhile, on the other side, I have seen so much propaganda on AI or on social media lately that's basically like, we've got to get rid of all of the Muslims now because they'll never assimilate and they're not us. And there was one specifically I saw yesterday that was like, only Muslims have how is it put? Only Muslims use their holy doctrine to kill others, and that sounds like exactly what we're doing here, though, just from the other side. So it seems like we're using this as an excuse to drive more anti-Muslim sentiment. So put checks on China, anti-Muslim sentiment. The Strait of Hormuz being closed is good, actually. That's the new MAGA motto.
Yes. Gas prices high, bad under Biden. Melanites. Apparently, I've got to watch the movie now. But high gas prices now because, we had to get them. They were going to get a nuke and kill us all. Good. It's good. That's the cost of freedom is, we're headed. I guarantee we're going to hit $5 a gallon this summer.
Oh, it's
just
coming.
going up because not only is the Strait of Hormuz closed, where they're destroying refineries and oil fields and all kinds of shit over there.
That's something we're going to get into.
Supply's going to be way down. I mean, where's the Venezuelan oil at? I don't know. But
that's going to take at a minimum of 5 years, if not 10, to get up to full production. And then you've got to have oil companies that want to put the money into it, which they don't, because they don't have the confidence that it's going to remain stable for that long.
Well, my understanding is it's another thing I see over and over from the bots is like, oh, we've got to make more oil here. And to my understanding, basically, American oil companies aren't building domestic refineries, and they haven't been for a long time because the cost versus the eventual output, it's not worth it. So
right, there's so many.
We sell certain types of crude, and then we buy certain types of crude, or we send it to be refined. You know what I mean? And it comes back. There's a whole
right. It's a huge mismatch for us. It's one of the biggest things that Republicans always want to simplify everything to the lowest common denominator, and it's never how it appears. The biggest thing with our oil is that our refineries that we have now weren't made for that type of oil that we're getting from all the fracking that we're doing now. Which is a lighter crude than most of the imported stuff that we've had for 50 years. And you got two other factors playing. So it takes 5 to 10 years there to build a full scale, big refinery.
Get it online.
We may already be at peak oil in the world. So it's one of those things where why invest in it if by the time it comes online, we're already going to be coming down that other side and not using as much oil based on two things, renewables and just not having as much to go around. Because the oil fields in that we're dealing with the Strait of Hormuz right now, most of that oil is going to run out in the next 100 years. Most of it a lot sooner than that. The easy to get to stuff is going to be gone in the next 30.
Well, and while we've been dragging our feet on implementing large-scale green energy sources, a lot of the rest of the world isn't. They're way ahead of us. So I think I saw Germany? They've had days where they're running the entire country 100% on green energy. So, I mean, that's the other, we were talking about, by the time you get these refineries on in 5 or 10 years, a lot of the industrialized
profit won't be
world isn't going to be consuming it, or not nearly as much. So, which it's just, fuck, man.
I would like to hope
Trump
that
was attacking windmills again the other day. I'm like, yeah, you fucking start a fucking war.
Where we can't have oil, and we
up.
should have more windmills, so we don't have to rely on so much oil.
And you're now attacking green energy because you're a fucking dementia-riddled, 80-year-old fucking piece of shit. But anyways,
Yeah, I mean, I would like to hope that this, if anything comes out of this catastrophe, it's that we need to invest in other stuff. At this point, even if it's nuclear, like I've never been a big fan of nuclear, but I'd rather see that than keep burning the amount of oil that we are, and then be beholden to these world events that hold everybody the fuck hostage. Because that's what we just did. Us and Israel pretty much unilaterally started a thing that now the entire rest of the world has to pay for, whether they want to be involved or not. And so I guess I'll just use that to segue because, Jesus, we've already been talking about just the first part of this Iran thing for 10 minutes.
Yeah, just the oil aspect.
We went to war and on our own accord, and it had major knock-on effects for all of our partners across the world. And now we're like, oh no, we demand that you get in on this because it's really your oil. The U.S. only gets 4% of its oil from the Strait of Hormuz nowadays, so it's really your problem. So, but nobody wants to play in the sandbox with us, and rightly so. This is so dumb.
It is. Yeah, I mean, how many times do we have to, like the last time we were on and we're saying, yeah, it's the year, it's the late 80s and it's Gulf War One, and then, we're going in the early 2000s, we're going into Afghanistan, we're going back into Iraq, and now we've got this. It's like, none of that's ever worked. I mean, even you go back to the 70s when we were backing bin Laden in the Afghanis versus the Russians. Like, what did we accomplish besides when we abandoned them and a bunch of them were slaughtered, and that's where they really fucking started to hate us. We trained the terrorists, like future terrorists. Like,
and now,
what have we ever accomplished? What have we ever? I mean, Afghanistan is back.
Nothing good, and that's what
I
really worry about.
Dollars in death
with this one in particular. That we're gonna go in, we're gonna waste a bunch of lives, an assload of money, deplete our stockpiles of munitions that we're going to need for other shit that's coming up. And then we're going to just leave the country alone. And what we will have done is put an even worse dictator into power and pissed off all the regular locals by both killing them and creating an ecological disaster by bombing oil fields that's now raining oil on the entire country and polluting drinking water. This is not a good. This is why you don't do operations like this. For as bumblefuck as Bush stepped into the Middle East, there was some semblance of a plan. There doesn't appear to be here. We're just actively setting ourselves up for probably things to be even worse in the future.
Yeah, I mean, when you had Bush in office, you actually had people who were qualified for military strategy, and now we have fucking Pete Kegsbreath,
Secretary of War.
I think he's a fucking psycho who wants to just murder people. He gets so much glee out of talking. Dude, it's fucking disgusting. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, and yeah, you don't just fucking bombing the shit out of a country doesn't like lead to anything good. Surprisingly, like, you're just creating more terrorists. You're just fucking destroying lives. Like, after the last fucking 50 plus years of us just bombing bomb on bomb on bomb on, like, and no one's fucking, they couldn't even pass you had like 4 Democrats that couldn't vote to fucking stop it. Like, what the fuck, man? Like Jared Golden, like, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, well, he's out here too, and like,
yeah, well,
I have no idea who's gonna replace that seat. We're totally headed for the Fallout timeline, Gannon. I feel that
LePage running for it. So LePage versus or woman.
Yeah,
I
like that's what I
believe.
mean. On the Democrat
Native
side, I
Amer-
have no idea.
what's her name? She's Native American. I can't remember her name
Okay.
now. She comes across my social media. I'm sorry, I've forgotten her name. But I don't know who else is running it. Giddy up, Buttercup. Yeah, so it's just grim all the way around, really.
Well, let's get through the one piece of like really
Yeah.
grim news we have here. Well, you mentioned that. So a couple weeks ago when we were last debating, was it us? Was it Iran that bombed their own girls' school? Was it Israel? No, it was us. It was us. And in like, it pisses me off that like in the wake of the news coming out at first, the people that were like, no, it was Iran. They told us it was Iran. Yeah, they did, and they were wrong, and they were lying to you. And these people still trying to defend somehow what happened. It's the worst. We've done some pretty stupid strategic blunders over the years. This is the worst thing since the 1950s. I don't even remember what the incident is, but it's like 1953 is the last time we had this bad of a breach of the rules of war in conduct.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Even just to try to put into words like how fucking upset and disgusted, like, but Obama did some shit, and I was speaking out against it when he was doing it. But guess what? That was fucking like 10 plus years ago. It's fucking unfathomable. Like, we gotta keep men out of women's sports, protect the ladies, and then you fucking bomb the fucking girls' school, kill like 165 fucking children. Like, fuck.
It was never about the kids.
No, we know that. I'm just
Never
the
was,
hypocrisy.
never will be.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, you've got some of these people, they got less than 2 fucking brain cells. They have to, because if they did, they'd be like opposing each other and they'd get a headache or something. But they can just absolutely be the biggest hypocrites, you know, without fucking blinking.
I was just trying to get a picture for the... No, go ahead.
Well, I was just say that going back to the vote that failed to stop it, we bombed the girls' school before. That was like the first day, wasn't it? So you don't even have enough people in Congress with enough spine to be like, yeah, we shouldn't be murdering school children.
Oh, my other favorite thing that has come out of this, we have lost 10 of our permanent radar stations in bases in the Middle East. And this is a really big deal. These have been here for a while. These did not get attacked during the Afghanistan war, during Iraq. The bigger ones of these are $1 billion. And they take 8 years to rebuild and require some really specialized materials, a lot of which the minerals come out of China. So cool.
Yeah.
But on the other side of this, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is our radars are the reason that the Israeli Golden Dome works.
Yeah.
It gave them about a 5-minute warning of rockets coming from Iran. And now they have less than a minute warning because of this. So Netanyahu pulled us into this thing, and now his country is even less safe.
Yeah.
Which is why they've like threatened people that have posted any like live bits from like Tel Aviv and places in Israel that are getting rocketed, so that it doesn't look like they failed as miserably as they did.
Yeah, well, we're killing people, we're creating ecological disasters, we're destabilizing global markets, and we're also fucking up national security, because these bases and other facilities, they also benefited us. And that shit's gone. So
now we're pretty
we're
much
just really
relying on the radar systems from our like carrier groups.
yeah.
Now, which
So we're
they
just
can't
really
be
winning.
everywhere.
You know, we're winning so much. America's so great right now.
It's so much winning.
Sick of the winning. So much of it. Yeah.
I love how many problems that the money that we've spent already to do essentially nothing. We accomplished one of our goals. We killed the leader of another country, and now his like even worse son is the dictator. So what did we accomplish? We got rid of the 86-year-old dude that's like not even really
more
there.
radical.
And now you got a young, more radical version, and we have ecological disasters. That's the last piece of the Iran war that I want to talk about.
Coming up aces, man.
And this is both fucking sides, and they need to knock it the shit off. The shelling of oil tankers in the Strait, and both Israel and the U.S. taking out oil assets and infrastructure within the country. You're creating ecological disasters. Could you please fucking cut it out?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's oil well fires still burning in Iraq. Because there's no way to put them out, right? That's what I understand.
They figured when Saddam did that to the Kuwaiti wells when they left in 91 or 92, whenever it was. It was in the wake of that they figured out how to do it. And it was experts from here in the U.S. And it's actually it's kind of counterintuitive. You have to set off a small bomb right next to the oil well, and it like you'd think it's counterintuitive, but it deprives the fire of oxygen for long enough that it goes out.
Yeah, I think there's like a capping system. Maybe I just saw one in particular that's so big they can't put it out.
I mean, it's not an easy process. It took them years to figure that out and to put them all out after that. It's not an easy process, but it can be done.
Yeah, either way, it's not.
it's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pure insanity.
For nothing. And we're not gaining anything out of this. At least, like, all right, Iraq was a useless war. With Afghanistan, we knew why we went there. There was a reason. And we did things in strategic orders. Did we accomplish much in the 20 years? Not really. But we did it with some decorum, god damn it. We asked the world to send a couple of troops each and to fuck around and play in the sand.
Yeah.
This time, we fucked around, and now we're demanding that other countries come send their troops to play in the sand.
There was at least some kind of tangible reason you could come up with as far as Afghanistan as to why we were doing what we were doing. But yeah, this is fucking, I think you have several factions within the Trump administration, and what I read in his first term is he goes off the last thing he heard, and I think that's why
that's what I'm still hearing today.
You have this disjointed, well, I'm sure he's even worse now that he's older, and he's obviously fucking slipping. Like, he called Newsom the president of the United States the other day. Like,
president of the new California Republic.
It's so fucking like, Biden had a speech impediment, and if he fucking acted like an old man and stuttered a little bit, the news was all, but fucking Trump is like shitting his pants. Fucking, he's in physical decline. He's in mental decline. All obvious, and not a fucking word, like, because they're all scared of him.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I dislike J.D. Vance, like, Trump should be removed from power for his own safety and the rest of us.
Yeah,
his cabinet should have a vote of no confidence.
Yeah,
it's time to ship Grandpa off to the home. He's not doing too well, and this comes from somebody that did not vote for Biden either. I don't think anybody that's this old should be in office. Which is why actually, I think I want to jump ahead. Had a different order I wanted to do that. Go ahead.
Oh, just one last thing on this whole, because we're like, why, what's the fucking reason? Well, I'm pretty accepting of the idea that it was to get people off the Epstein file stuff too, and it's
I think it
actually
has to be more than that.
for the most part it's worked well. And then there was talk that
commit a bunch of war crimes that should like get the ICC involved, let alone like our own justice system.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll commit a bunch of worse war crimes to deflect from the like domestic terrible crime that I committed.
Yeah. Well, it was also kind of said that Netanyahu basically egged Trump into it.
Yes.
Because he's gotten, I mean, they've been talking about Iran they were talking about Iran during Bush 1, or Bush 2, I mean, when all that was going on. Iran got brought up. Remember the axis of evil or whatever they called it? The axis of evil, So, I think there's a few reasons. None of it's beneficial to anyone except for, the evil fucks. I mean, as far as the war crimes and shit and there being any consequences, I don't think Trump ever fears that he'll ever face consequences because he never fucking does. So
not once. No. I have no faith.
He was made to sit in court when he had that trial. That was the worst he got put through, is he had to fucking show up to court every day. But anyways, so it's a fucking mess. Yeah.
Actually, I guess I will just put this back on track because I wanted to move from here to something that's coming. I think whether we want it or not, there's a situation in Cuba that's probably going to draw us into the third conflict in the last couple of months. Now, this one may actually not end in a conflict. This may end up in a whimper that ends up good for the Cuban people. I lived in Florida for a couple of years. I got to know both legally immigrated and illegal Cubans. And I got to tell you, they're the most salt of the earth, interesting, wonderful people as like a group that I've ever met. Wonderful food, great people to just hang out with. And what's happening in Cuba, if you don't know, it's bad. Basically, all of their energy infrastructure revolves around oil. They have no other real means of producing electricity. Yeah. So the entire island pretty much right now that we've cut off all their oil because they were getting it basically all from Venezuela. They don't have any gas left basically on the island, save for a few like absolute emergency services. There's tens of thousands of surgeries that can't be performed because there's no electricity or running water. The running water is the biggest thing because the pumps aren't operating without electricity, and they don't even have trucks, the gas to put in trucks to deliver water to people that need it. Cuba has been so close to structural collapse so many times in the last 60 or 70 years. But I don't see it lasting the way it is now for more than another couple of months.
Well, I mean, Trump was saying it would be his honor to take it or something like that the other day.
Yeah, he did, and that's fucking sick. But he doesn't even need to. I mean, at this point, you just wait it out. There's no hope. Now, a good president would already have, like, preemptively, like, be getting in there and trying to stoke aid so that the people, you get ahead on, like, overthrowing the government by getting the people to see that, oh, hey, the U.S. is going to take care of us. We need to take care of our, like, own government. But no, they're not going to do that. They're gonna wait for maximum casualties and for, 1 million people to die in the streets before it collapses, and then they have no choice but to step in.
So what do you think they're looking to make Cuba new U.S. territory? Is that what the end game is here? I don't know.
I have no idea because I don't even know what we're doing with Venezuela, and I don't think the Trump administration does either. So there's no clear answer there.
They don't have any fucking plan. It's just like they're sowing chaos.
actually want Cuba as a territory. So, like, I'm not sure where the status would land, or what that would look like in the end. To be completely honest,
I mean, if this is true, this these this post that you put up, yeah, we fucked up Venezuela, but like it says Russia tried to send humanitarian aid and we blocked it. So it's like, what's the point of that? Just to besides being cruel, like
the
that's what
cruelty
I'm
is always
saying.
the
Like,
point.
yeah, I mean, is there some? That's what I'm saying. Like, what's their angle here?
What's the angle
what are
with
we
Greenland?
punishing?
What's
What are we
the
punishing?
angle with Iran? What's
Wow,
the angle with literally anything that this
Greenland
administration
was
has done in
strategic,
foreign policy? Yeah, strategic. Cuba's
even
more
though
fucking strategic than Greenland, for
but we have
Christ's
more.
sake.
Well, we already have access to Greenland. We have permission to go anywhere in Greenland already, so or we did. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I don't either. That's
Like
the
you said,
thing.
what's the reasoning behind any of it?
There's no real answers here, and it's not really good. It's not good for anybody.
Like, it's just one of those things. Like, is this part of, that whole, like, are they trying to destabilize markets to the point? And this is something I've heard or read, is that you have a group, including Peter Thiel, and their idea is they'll collapse the economy. Basically, they want to collapse the world economy, kill a bunch of poor people, and they have so much money it won't matter. You know what I mean? Even if the dollar goes down X amount they have billions and trillions of dollars, so that they would still be like millionaires, and the rest of us would have zero. I don't know if that's true, but I mean, look at what the fuck they're doing. Like, I don't know. Doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason, and there seems to be no give a fuck. I mean, we've bombed the shit out of and killed brown people in the Middle East.
Yeah, it's not new. I mean, it's pretty much our national pastime, but
yeah. So
this time it does. It feels different. What the things we're doing everywhere in the world feel different. Like, there is no point. They don't even try to get the us citizens on board with the war anymore. They tell us that we're supposed to be part of it and support our troops and be behind the war, but
they
don't even
kids.
They don't even give you a comforting lie or a reason to send your kids. Yeah. I don't get it.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I do know they're acting like there aren't going to be midterm elections, and that's another frightening thing.
Yeah, I mean, all we can do is one day at a time and see what happens there.
I mean, also, maybe it doesn't seem like there's a plan because the reasons that Trump does these things are misguided and they don't work out. So, like, another thing, there's these little things in the ether, but it was like, he figured becoming a wartime president would make him more popular or something like that. That sort of, he was hoping it would have that sort of effect.
Worked for Bush.
I don't know if that's true in any way.
But that was the thing, like, at least Bush packaged it in a way that for at least a couple of years it fooled us long enough to, like, do what they wanted to do. They're not even, like, trying to feed us a lie this time.
Well,
we're doing it, whether you like it or not. There
was a strong sense of unity and nationalism after 9/11, and they rode on that wave to get it done, to get it passed, to get Congress to authorize a war. This is just like you said, there's no, that's why I'm just left grasping at things. You know what I mean? Like, well, maybe this fucking weird thing is why, because none of it makes any sense in any way.
So let's move from this to another stupid thing that came in the wake of 9/11. And that's the Department of Homeland Security, which then absorbed a whole bunch of other departments that it probably shouldn't have, like the Coast Guard and FEMA. And now, like, all of that's being held up because Democrats won't fund ICE rightly, even though they have offered to fund every other part of DHS except for ICE and CBP. Yeah, that's like a whole thing. But specifically, let's talk about briefly the Mark Wayne Mullen confirmation. I've never even heard this man speak, but I always, when I hear his name, it's two first names in one with no hyphen, just Mark Wayne. Hey, Mark Wayne, get her done.
Yeah.
But
you might be a redneck if your name is Mark Wayne.
And like, what really gets me, it's like he thinks that this is a promotion or something. He's a fucking U.S. senator. He's one of only 100 people that hold quite a lot of power. And now he's taking the job of DHS head, which he probably will not make it out of the administration. How many Scaramucci's does he make it? I give him 12. I give him right around 6 months.
Yeah.
I guess that's not even 6 months, but
What was Scaramouche? 2 weeks?
11 days.
Oh, it was 11 days.
11 days.
Full 2 weeks. So about about 2.75 Scaramouche in a month. Scaramouches. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get a few months, but like, this guy's dumber than Kristi Noem. He's got no law enforcement experience, no military experience, no administration experience. He's the only member of either a branch of Congress to not have a bachelor's degree. And I mean, he's from Oklahoma, so last in education for a very long time. I don't think he's got what it takes. And like, and he got into this whole like beef at his hearing with Rand Paul from his own party. He's acting like this Jim Bro tough guy asshole. And like, when the reason ICE isn't being funded is because they're all jack off Jim Bro assholes.
Yes.
So you put this guy in charge after Kristi couldn't get it done. What do you think's going to happen? More people are going to die. That's for sure.
Well, more hearsay, but it was rumored that he picked Mark Wayne because Mark Wayne is the guy who tried to grab, what was his name there? Is it Al Green? Is it Al? It's the guy who had the sign at the, I think that's his name. Like the singer, but which makes that follows for this administration. Like, basically, you don't have to be good at anything; just kiss fucking Trump's ass. Like, yeah. Well, he also did you see that they were showing footage? This was a while back. It was the head of the was it UAW, one of the unions. He was like trying to fucking goad the guy into a fist fight during the hearing.
Yeah, I know he's had like
what the
trouble
fuck,
with
like he's basically like, we can go outside right now, and the fucking union guy's like, okay, let's go, like we'll go outside, but like, yeah, just
So I'd be
in
interested.
The infamous picture. I was gonna say the infamous picture of him cowering during January 6th, and now he's a election denier. But anyways,
I wanted to pivot ever so slightly and get your thoughts on something that I realized when I was like, oh, he's the only one in either chamber without a bachelor's degree. How do you feel about your dude Graham Plattner coming into the Senate, potentially being the only other one going into it who wouldn't have a bachelor's degree?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see that as necessarily a qualification. I think it comes down to, do you understand how the government works? And, what are your positions? I don't know. It's one of those things like I was gonna be like, well, to my understanding, the guy was like a plumber, but like, so what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see that a lot, like, oh, he was just a plumber. It's like, well, that doesn't really It's not shit on plumbers. Like,
I know a lot of plumbers
actually
and people in trades that have very strong political opinions. Like, I get that.
yeah, and you have to be intelligent to do that sort of work. You know what I mean? Or like intelligent in a way. But yeah, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it at this point.
I hadn't until
as far as
this
Graham's
afternoon,
concerned.
and I was like, oh, wait, Graham would then be like the only one, since now he's out, and presumably Oklahoma will put somebody in that, I don't know, maybe was homeschooled their whole life, probably next, and that wouldn't surprise me either, but I would like to assume that we get somebody that's probably like a lawyer or whatever, because that's just what 90% of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it. To me, it's not really a big deal. I think it comes down to whether I think you can do the job right. And then it's a matter of seeing if you stick to your rhetoric, which, a lot of them don't. They can't even stick to their fucking oath of office. So I'm not really holding out a lot of hope for anything at this point, unfortunately. As far as Mark Wayne's concerned, do they have the votes to confirm him? They have a slight majority, right? Sorry, I'm not.
Yeah,
I should know that off the top of my
today
head.
today was just like the informational hearing,
Yeah.
and they voted despite like Rand Paul is like biggest enemy chairing that committee. They voted to move his nomination to the floor. He should get a vote next week.
Yeah.
It
Is
does
it a
look like
simple
he
majority?
will probably get it. I'm not
Is it
sure.
a simple majority for confirmation? Sorry, I should know that stuff.
I should too. I think the answer is yes.
Yeah. So
I do
even
know
if
that they expect
all-
him to pass, even though there's people that have some qualms about him.
Even if all Dems opposed, they would have the vote still. But, maybe they could put up some sort of fight.
So as far as hearings, though, in the last few days, the other one that kind of major one, Tulsi Gabbard came to the Hill, answered a bunch of questions, didn't answer some questions.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give a prediction right off the bat. She's toast, and here's why. She said that Trump asked her to go specifically to the Fulton County in Georgia, where the FBI and other agencies came and took a bunch of voter records. So she just did exactly what Kristi Noem did the day before she got fired. She said something. She told probably the truth that Trump asked them to do something or approved something, but you can't say, even if Trump did approve something, that he did and make him look bad. She's out of a job. I guarantee you by the end of the week. Well, I guess that's tomorrow. By the end of next week, she's out of a job.
Is it being, as far as Kristi Noem's concerned, that all kind of blew up. I haven't really seen anything about this.
Yeah,
that's what,
This one was interesting. So, like, to go to one of our, talking about, like, our senators here in Maine, Angus King, at one point, when she dodged a question, he's like, well, I guess that answer is second cousin to yes. Like, that was a great answer. Because he was pressing her on whether Russia was feeding intelligence to Iran. And she's like, well, I can't talk about that on the record, or we can talk in a closed session about that. And he's like, no, this has been in the media. This has been reported. It's out there in the public. And she's still like, she wouldn't answer his question. And he's like, okay.
Yeah. I guess that would be my only opinion as far as like whether she's going to get fired, is like what's the scale of how bad she made Trump look?
Not as bad as Kristi Noem, because this is like, actually, this might actually be worse, because Kristi said that Trump okayed the $200 million ad buy. And Tulsi said that, like, he asked her specifically to go to Fulton County, even though that is directly against the laws and what the director of national intelligence is allowed to be part of. Not
Yeah.
allowed to conduct any on U.S. soil law enforcement operations.
Yeah. But they don't give a shit about what the
No.
law is. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's been long speculated she's a Russian asset.
Yeah, she's been
So,
problematic from the beginning. I knew of all of the people going into this. I was almost certain she was going to be the first. I'm actually surprised Kristi Noem beat her to the punch. I don't think Pam Bondi's long for this world either, but I bet Tulsi goes first.
yeah. I would say probably generally Tulsi's a little smarter than Kristi.
Yes, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? But she's got some real suspicious shit. And not to be like a judgmental asshole, but I've always said never trust a woman who has either the all black with the blonde streak or the blonde with the one black streak.
Or that wears white on white, man. That should be a fucking crime right there.
After Labor Day? Jesus.
So one of the other things to come out of the intelligence community in the last few days, former National Counterterrorism Center Director, that's quite a mouthful of a title, Joe Kent, is now under investigation for leaking classified info conveniently a day after he quit and told everyone that Trump didn't listen to advisors that told him not to go to Iran and that they were not an imminent threat. That's the only thing they have been some of them have been trying to use to sell this war to us, that, yeah, Iran was an imminent threat. But then there's other people that have rumoredly said it, and now this guy quitting his job. When you are the director of national counterterrorism, like, clearly you're as evil and assholish as it comes. Like, I didn't know who this guy was, but there's no way he's not a full-on, like, nationalist scumbag to have a title like that. So for him to come out and be like, no, this is fucked. Yeah. Some shit is going down. That he's right. He is not lying.
Yeah. From what I've read, because I had never heard of this guy before he resigned, but from what little I've seen, yeah, he's a diehard MAGA, fucking, no scruples.
You'd have to be to take that job.
To have someone like that who you think is going to be a guaranteed yes man to be like, to publicly resign like that and outright say, this is bullshit. That's probably one of the more damaging things. And yeah, he's under investigation now because that's what they do. They fucking, if you go against them, they're gonna either say you committed fraud or come up with some other bogus charge, which I'm sure it won't go anywhere, but it's still bullshit.
Just enough to throw
at the same
shade.
time, considering he's a MAGA piece of shit, I don't really care. Fuck him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, right. Exactly.
I don't really care.
But that if he's coming out and saying what he's saying, that lends the credibility to it. Unfortunately, exactly. The one time that being a MAGA piece of shit lends you credibility, when you want everybody to believe you.
The Iran, between Epstein and Iran, I am seeing little smatterings of people like, finally, like, I regret my vote. I fucked up. I voted for Trump all 3 times, and it was a huge fucking mistake, and I'm sorry.
I didn't vote for this.
I've seen more of that.
You did, but
I've seen more of that happening. It's not like a wide scale thing, but it's kind of amazing that it's, and maybe it is just this cumulative, like we were saying, Epstein's not going to really matter to the diehards because no amount of evidence, but maybe there is a little cumulative effect of
maybe
bullshit,
there is a red line that a few of them have drawn in the sand.
Yeah. So I don't know, dude.
I don't know either. One thing I'm going to say that I've thought about for a bit, there's a lot of talk about, like, so what do you do with the family members and the people when the ride comes to an end, when the Trump ride and the MAGA train finally fucking derails, and it will. It may look hopeless right now that we are in some shit, but fascism always dies. It cannot sustain itself. And we're already starting to see the cracks. I hope. I hope this isn't just the calm before the storm. But, like, what do you do with these people? Well, you don't be an asshole to them outright and get in their face and be like, I told you so. But also, I don't trust these people. You elected a dude multiple times that even if you didn't know he was going to do this, you knew about like the Access Hollywood tapes. You knew about grab him by the pussy. You knew that he was just kind of a piece of shit and that he stiffed every person that that's ever worked for him when it became convenient to do so. It's a pattern. It's gone back decades. If you missed all of the warning signs, I don't trust you. You should not be allowed to vote ever again. It might sound harsh, but like, why should I trust these people? I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm glad that you finally came around eventually.
Yeah.
But why did it... How can I ever trust you again?
Yeah. Yeah, I've pretty much given up on having a relationship with any of the diehards for the most part. Just like, I care about you as a person, you know, but I don't need you in my life. Like, that's kind of where I'm at, you know? And yeah, I mean, all of the shit that has been excused by his supporters, you know, it's disgusting. I don't understand it. I will never understand it. How people that I previously considered to be decent people just fucking completely let go of any morals or ethics to back this fucking bullshit, you know? I mean, it's so fucking anti-American. That's the other, you know, talking about hypocrisy, you know, you have the conservatives are America first, and, you know, they bleed on about how we're the greatest country in the world and, you know, the Constitution, and just light that all on fire as soon as all he has to do is say fucking torch that motherfucker, and they did it with glee in their hearts. To me, yeah, I don't need you in my life. Best of luck.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much where I am with that, you know, and I just stopped. I used to argue with people, you know, and I really don't anymore, you know.
As a whole, yeah, that used to be one of my favorite pastimes, but like when the trickle became a flood, there was just no point anymore. And when half the flood is just AI fucking garbage bots, there's even less point. You never know if you're arguing with a human or a bot, because even the humans that believe the shits that the bots are telling us are just as intelligent. Actually, the bots are more fucking intelligent.
Yeah, I was talking. Yeah, I mean, different groups and things, but I'm talking about even just like on Facebook, you know, like you have your friends or your family, and they're, you know, going back 10 years ago. You know, when he came down that fucking escalator, and, you know, the shit he was saying, you know, about Mexicans, and then just like everything that came out, and it's just gotten so much worse over the last decade, you know. But, you know, 10 years ago, you know, 11 years ago, you're like, oh, it's just they don't know this, or they just don't quite understand, and if I present enough evidence and maybe enough reason, that'll bring somebody around. And no, I gave up on that a while ago, you know.
Yeah, I used to believe that too, and it just it doesn't. It's you're just chasing your own tail and feeding the troll.
I don't remember who said it, but it's something to the effect of like, you can't use reason to change someone's mind or their opinion when they didn't use reason to get there in the first place. And that's
a really
really encapsulates MAGA to me. You know, you can't, and I'm like, it makes sense when somebody's there. It's an unreasonable position, so you're not going to be able to convince them with a reasonable argument. But anyways,
so speaking about unreasonable positions, we got 5 minutes left. I only have a couple of small things. let's go back to the very first story that started the show. And it was Brendan Carr here, the man who's less than a year older than Adam, and like you wouldn't know it. There's about 20 years difference in these faces to me.
Yeah.
But this week he had come out and he's on his bullshit again. Broadcast licenses are up for renewal, and he's like, well, if some of these news stations don't start reporting the war the way we want them to, or report the war the right way, I think was how he phrased it, then we're going to have to start looking at whether we relicense them. They want fucking state-run media. Like, the Republicans have been the ones for decades being like, oh, well, it's all liberal media, and it's just one step away from state-run, and we can't let that happen. And now it's them that are trying to create a literal state-run media.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
No, it's, you know, when they're the aggrieved party, then it's everyone but their fault, you know.
And they're always the aggrieved party. That's
always the aggrieved party. Yeah. I was listening to Jon Stewart's podcast, and they're talking about Twitter and how before, so they're talking about that exact same thing in regards to Twitter, that, you know, before Elon bought it and through 2020, like, oh, our voices are being silenced and it's liberal bias. Well, now Elon, you know, the algorithm they've tilted it so far to favor right-wing content that they did like a study, and it's like, yeah, if you consume a lot of X, you're more likely to become right-wing. That's how like slanted it is. And it's just more hypocrisy, you know, but they just want total domination. There's no ethics involved. They just cry about how they're the victim, you know, and then once they have power, they fucking do what they accuse others of, but to the fucking 10th degree.
Tenfold.
Yeah. So it's just another case of that. I mean, at this point, you know, talking about the media, they're nowhere to be found as far as major media. You know, that's why I just follow some of the independent people, you know, on social media. Because, well, talking about the Cuba situation, it was a snippet about, you know, on the news, they just said Cuba's without power and this and that, but they never mention. They never
a lot
mention
of people
it's
have
because
no idea how
of what
bad
Trump has
it
done
is in Cuba right now, and it's all because of Trump. Not all. I mean, the country fucked itself 60 years ago, and it keeps fucking itself.
Well,
let's be real. Like Cuba, we've had a hand in it in our embargo for as long as we've had that. They've had a hand in it and like tried to keep going a really stupid regime for no good reason. There's a lot of blame to be laid around.
Well, you have dictatorship. You know what I mean? So. They're a small country, you know, smaller countries don't have as many resources and that sort of thing. They can't really grow their economy like a bigger country can. But regardless of what's gone on, what the fuck is happening now is, I mean.
Pretty far from okay.
But the point is the media said nothing about Trump's actions and their part in all of it. So they're pretty much already fucking bought off, you know.
Yeah, because there's even the one more thing. It's not even just Venezuela. They were getting most of their oil for Venezuela, and they were getting some of it from Mexico. And Trump then pressured Mexico to not. I don't remember the specifics, but he basically said he'd increase like their tariffs another like 10% or whatever it was.
Yeah,
if they kept selling oil to Cuba. So they stopped. They cut Cuba off too, and now Cuba basically doesn't have any oil, and that's the only way they have to make electricity. So,
yeah. Speaking of the tariffs, it's like I almost think that because you had the tariff thing or the Epstein thing, and I think in Trump's mind he's like, well, we'll bomb Iran and we'll get that going, you know, and then that'll distract away from that, but. It hasn't been favorable PR for him, rightly so,
Thankfully.
because, well, you attacked a country that you can't show had any intent or capability to do anything to us. You bombed a girls' school. You're fucking, you know, people are dumb, but like,
Yeah, that was actually one of the things that
there is a line, you know,
that came out in the Tulsi Gabbard hearing. One of the few things we got was that, yeah, that Iran's nuclear program was completely wiped out last year in 2025 by our bombing then.
Yeah.
So you can't use that one as a line.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're coming up on the hour. I just wanted to talk about the little thing that has consumed me for the past week, and that is the First Lady's movie, Melania. I just put out a 20-minute review of it today.
Okay.
I took a lot of time and had a lot of fun doing it. I did not have fun watching the movie. It is absolutely as bad as you might think. If you enjoy watching a train wreck, it has earned its 1.5 on IMDb. It truly is that bad. That's pretty much where I'm gonna leave it.
Between you I wanted to thank you during the podcast too for all the work that you do for this. But also it's like you watch the State of the Union, you watch the Christie Gnome, like now you're watching Melania. I'm wondering if you're some sort of sadomasochist.
And I would have watched the whole Tulsi Gabbard hearing if I weren't working on the review. Gabbard. From Harvard Yard. Park the car.
Yeah, if you were working on Melania. So you had the double dip.
Honestly, like, for as much as I hate this movie, this is actually one of the most fun videos I've ever put together.
I'll have to check it out.
Rather enjoyed it. And I've seen it 3 times now, so I've probably seen it more than the First Lady herself. Yeah. I guess I would call myself an aficionado. Even though I don't know the First Lady any better after seeing it any of the times than I did before. Anyway, go watch my review on that.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have any propaganda this week. I didn't have time to get it, but there hasn't. The like social media accounts have calmed down. I wonder if it's like Christie's ad buy money. I wonder if they like just kind of stopped doing these like stupid kind of sly ad things in general. But
yeah. Well, I think they're focused on Iran right now. Yeah. In spinning that.
I would like to thank Adam for joining me, and I would like to thank all of you for tuning in. Until we see you again, live long and